I love to cook, but I'm also a multitasker. It's that perfect time for me to catch up with friends and family, watch the news, or stream some of my favorite YouTube channels while I'm prepping for food. That is why I considered buying a smart screen for my kitchen. This is my review of the Facebook Portal Plus. My piece of tech to video chat and consume video content in the kitchen has always been my phone. And we all know how uncomfortable it can get to go back and forth between cooking and using a phone. Surely I could use a tablet, but I don't have one. Should I pay an upward of $500 just for video calling and YouTube? Probably not. I already have a first-gen Amazon Echo in the same room. But what if I could combine all that my Amazon Echo can do, but just with a big screen that could also stream and do video calls? That way, I could move my Echo device to another room and expand my smart home capabilities. Yes, I could have chosen an Amazon Echo Show with a 10-inch screen, but I'm always drawn towards the biggest possible screen if there is one available out there. So why did I go for the Facebook Portal Plus? Well, let's talk about its strong suit, video calling. It supports Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp a lot, just like 68 million other users in the US do, so that's perfect for me. But it wasn't just video calling that caught my attention. The Facebook Portal Plus has a smart AI camera that makes sure you're always in the frame. And that's perfect when you're constantly moving around in a room like the kitchen. When you're talking about the Portal Plus, you have to mention the big screen. I'm talking 15.6 inches big. That's bigger than most laptops are. So there's no way I wouldn't consider the Facebook Portal Plus. The Portal Plus is also enabled. I was aware though that certain advanced features like the drop-in or messaging wouldn't be available. If I can control my home lights, play music, ask questions on measurements, then that's plenty much for me while I'm in the kitchen. So all in all, the Facebook Portal Plus looked good on paper if we were talking purely features. By the way, you might be wondering why I'm reviewing this device almost a year after its release. To that I say, I just needed one. I needed a smart display more than ever, especially during the lockdown when I see myself spend more time at home and in the kitchen. So what changed my mind about the Facebook Portal Plus? Almost until now, this video was trying really hard to sell you on this device. Truth be told, the more I used it, the more I thought otherwise. Let's get the basics out of the way. The device is well packaged for a first timer. The box comes with a power cable, a quick start guide, and a camera cover. The controls are simple and easy to use. The physical buttons are touch sensitive for the volume and turning on and off the microphone. You can also control the volume through screen controls by simply pulling up the control panel from the bottom of the screen. From this panel, you can also connect to a Bluetooth device, adjust the screen brightness, activate Do Not Disturb, and turn off the screen. The device doesn't have a backup battery, just like most smart speakers, so it needs to be plugged into a power outlet. Since this device is big, you have an area at the back that allows you to carry it around quite comfortably. There is a Portal app, but its use is very limited. It allows you to select photos from Facebook as screensavers or cast images from your phone to the portal. That is pretty much it. It would have been nice if you were able to control more settings from within the app. Now, before I get into the negatives, let me start off with some of the positives of this device. Video calling has been good. As I mentioned, I use WhatsApp for video calling. The AI camera makes sure you're kept in the frame, which is really helpful when I'm moving around while chatting. Oh, by the way, there are AI effects you can add while you're on the call, as well as there is a story time feature that allows you to narrate stories over a video call, mainly used when you're chatting with kids. I'm not someone who fancies using AI effects while on video chat, but if it's something that you really like to use during video chat, then it's a pretty good reason to consider one. Let's talk about the hardware. This device is designed and built well. I bought the white version to go with the decor of my kitchen. The matte finish gives a sense of quality. If you're like me who loves loves a minimal and modern kitchen, this device will add that touch of modernism to your decor. Not to mention, it is a conversation starter. My friends keep asking me, what is it? Or what does it really do? Another thing I really love about the Portal Plus is its speaker. It can get really loud and still clear compared to any of my Echo devices. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the privacy concern. The Facebook Portal makes it easy to disable the camera and microphone in a single click of a button. If you don't want to take any chance, Facebook also provides you with a camera cover. Facebook also doesn't listen to your video call conversations. You can turn off storage and delete voice interactions in the Portal settings. You also have the option to set a passcode for the extra security. I just started this channel. This is my first video that I've uploaded. I'd really appreciate if you could provide your feedback. Comment below and let me know how the content was. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon. Okay, back to the video. So let's get into the reasons why I find it so hard to recommend the Facebook Portal Plus. Let's talk about YouTube, another reason why I bought the Facebook Portal Plus. At first, it appears to look like an app, but it's actually just a shortcut icon to the internet browser version of the streaming service. You have to be so precise when you're trying to use the browser version to touch certain controls that are often too close to each other, like the play button or trying to view a video in full screen. In most cases, the registered click has a delay. The sole purpose of having a device like the Facebook Portal Plus in the kitchen with a screen is to be able to do most tasks with minimal screen interactions. And using YouTube especially can be frustrating without the app version. By the way, you can switch to the mobile version. It's a bit cleaner, but it's still the same browser experience with small menus and icons. If you close the browser and open it again, it goes back to the desktop version. So every time you go back to YouTube, you have to first switch to the mobile version if that's your preference. Another drawback of the YouTube browser experience is its inability to adapt to portrait mode. The Facebook Portal Plus can be used in landscape and portrait mode. Viewing YouTube content in full screen leaves huge black spaces on the top and bottom of the screen. Not having a YouTube app, in my opinion, is a big lost opportunity for a screen of this size. Speaking about aesthetics, like most smart devices, I would have preferred if the screen was tilted upwards a bit more than it does like its competition, as registering screen touches would be more responsive, especially if you are tall. I often find it hard to click areas of the screen on the lower half. Let's talk about streaming music. The Portal Plus comes with the Spotify app pre-installed. If you use Pandora, then that app is available too. I use Spotify, so let's talk about that app. Actually, there's not much to talk about the app. It's basically your home tab of the mobile version that shows your recommendations based on your usage and some genres. So you better like the recommendations that Spotify pushes on to you, because you don't get the option to search a playlist or a song. Neither does it show you your most recent played songs or playlists. Another missed opportunity of this app is the absence of Spotify Connect, which is the ability to connect to external speakers. Well, don't get me wrong, the sound quality of the Facebook Portal is amazing, but I prefer the Sonos speakers that I already have. I'm heavily invested in the Sonos ecosystem throughout my home, so it would have been really nice to control my music through the Facebook Portal in my kitchen/living room and have it play on my Sonos speakers. So for now, I'm going to continue using my phone to control music on Spotify, which kind of defeats the purpose in spite of having a big screen that has a Spotify app. Let me talk about why I spend so much of time in the kitchen. Cooking. If you have a tablet-like device like the Facebook Portal Plus, you have to talk about recipes. The Portal has a Food Network app, but it is just like the Spotify app that forces you to view what is pushed on to you. You cannot search for recipes of your choice like in the mobile app. I did find an app though on recipes called Side Chef, which allows you to search through some decent collection of recipes. The only downside is if you are anyone like me who loves following recipes through video, this app won't have that many. However, the step-by-step methods and the way information is laid out is pretty intuitive. I would prefer YouTube for a more variety of recipes. Since we are on the topic of apps, the Portal Plus has a very limited list of apps you can install. Portal's App Store has a section for websites, which are just bookmarks you can add to popular websites. Let's move to the Amazon integration on the Facebook Portal Plus. So this was another reason why I wanted the Facebook Portal Plus to replace my Echo device in the kitchen. So what are my gripes about the Amazon Echo integration? Not too many, just one, and it's a deal breaker for me. So when you are in a home with Amazon devices in multiple rooms, we all know only the device that is closest to you will wake up when triggered. But the Facebook Portal Plus will trigger Amazon even if you're in another room speaking to a closer Echo device, as long as the mic can pick up your voice. This turns on the screen randomly when you're in another room and the screensaver starts showing. Not energy efficient, especially when you're trying to save energy in rooms you don't use. There was this one time when I switched off the screen while watching a YouTube video. Later, in the evening, while I was watching TV, I got a delivery notification and the Facebook portal just woke up in the other room and continued playing the YouTube video I last viewed. At first, it was kind of freaky when I didn't know about this glitch, but after I realized it, I made sure that I always closed the browser before switching off the screen. There was one other minor glitch. Every time Alexa displayed information on the screen, it was hard to get out of the screen until it did so on its own a couple of minutes later. So yes, the more I used the Portal Plus, the more I realized I wasn't getting value and enjoying the perks of having a smart speaker even with a huge screen. I felt like Facebook just put all its R&D into the hardware and there was very less thought put into the user experience. It was almost like Facebook just wanted to release a device or a range of devices just because there was a market for it. The idea was right. A smart device which looked good, had a big screen, amazing sound quality, and the video calling with AI. If you were anyone like me who went purely based on features that it had on paper, you would be tempted to buy one of these devices. But more time spent with the device tells a different tale. It comes down to the below average experience owning it. With time and iterations, software and user experience can always improve. If a newer generation Facebook Portal Plus was ever to come in the near future with a better experience, I'll be the first to buy one. For now, given my experience with Echo devices and its ecosystem, I would bet a promising option for a smart speaker with a screen seems to be the upcoming Echo Show 10 Generation 3. This is Ben from Technologically Curious, and this was my review of the Facebook Portal Plus.